Well, hello, YouTube. I'm on the live stream, so I'm gonna wait and see who comes on. So I'm gonna share the link. Is invite in the chat. So I don't know. It seems like when I'm on YouTube, oh, here goes one person. Seems like when I get on YouTube, y'all come on quick, but like on stream, y'all it takes a minute. So I'm gonna give it a few more minutes. And anybody wants to come on in the join me in the chat, just come on in. You ain't got to show your face because I'm not showing my face today. So come on in, see who's in. Oh, here y'all go. Come on in the chat. Let me see who's in the chat so I can see who's on. And if you're a troll, you better move on. Let me see. Let me go on my phone, see if it shows up on YouTube. Oh, here y'all are. Welcome. Good evening. So I'm just going to give y'all some updates. So anyway, in regards to Carvana, no, I got that usual automated email. Thank you, but we found someone more suitable, blah, blah, blah. So that's what happened with that. But I'm not upset about it because, to be honest, it sounded good on paper. It sounded good on paper, but then when I did some other reviews. I did some reviews prior to this, to be honest, on Glassdoor or one of those, and pretty much it was kind of like people were like didn't give it that good of a rating for a company to work for. They said they focused too much on the customer and not too much on employees. So I said, okay, whatever, no big deal. And I said it wasn't going to make sense anyway because I think what happened was when they inquired about that, if I was going to, when they inquired about TurboTax and seeing that that was on my resume, and they asked me, I'm fine, and they asked me if I was still going to continue with TurboTax. I said I'd make my own schedule. So I said, you know what? It didn't make sense to me anyway to be trying to work there 40 hours a week and work TurboTax. So, but that's all right, you know. And um, when I did get there, I did get there a little bit. I would say late, but they would say please arrive 15 minutes early. Blah blah blah. And when I got there, you had to check in with security. So I don't know. And I'm not. I ain't worried about it to be honest, because I already got the email today in regards to Maximus with the Department of Education. So they sent me an email, so they'll be sending the equipment out for them in a couple of weeks. So I already had a job lined up. I already had another position lined up, working from home. So and then so I'll be working from home unless I decide to go out and about and do my survey assignments, my little gigs, which is normally around the house anyway. So I'm not pressed about it. And then when I started calculating, I do get paid pretty good with TurboTax. I get paid over $20 an hour. And I never did tell y'all how much the pay was with Carvana. Carvana was only going to pay $18 per hour. Now, you may say, "Oh, that's a lot," but I was getting paid the $18 plus a little bit more working at Amazon 3 days a week, even though it was when you work on the evening and weekends. So I said, "Well, shoot." When I did calculate the pay, when they told me, I calculated it. I said, okay, if I was 18 at 40 hours, and I would still be making under my monthly budget. You know, it was still been under my monthly budget. So I said, well, dog, I would have to do a little extra work just to get to for me to make at least 3,000 and to be able to pay my bills and save money. So, I think I had this grand scheme master plan that I was going to I had this grand scheme master plan that I was going to work there and work TurboTax and do survey on the side. And I was like, you know what? That don't make no sense. That didn't make no sense. I think sometimes I be working at these. I think I just try to be all over the place, just all over the place. So, but I said, I was like, okay, well, if I get it, I get it. I'll figure it out what I'm going to do. But then I also had to think about that I won't be working from home. Well, I would have had to drive to Dunwoody, and I don't like to take the highway. I don't get on 285 to get there. And I had to think about all that traffic, and I was like, did I really feel comfortable going back? Face to face, sitting next to each other. And when they showed me around, it was like everybody, you sitting around, they all sitting next to each other. It wasn't like a cubicle setting. It was like, a desk and you got a little separation. So it was kind of like you were all sitting on top of each other. So I was kind of like looking at that. I'm like, just one big old desk, rows, and you just sitting up on each other. So I didn't, as I was telling someone else earlier today, I said to myself, you know what? I am 53 years old and I need to stay away. I need to stop going on these entry level positions and start focusing on a career where I have all these years experience and I could apply as a manager or a team lead, at least a minimum team lead if I was going to stay customer service. So I said, you know what? I'm making myself look real foolish because and I have a very keen eye. Most of the people I saw there, they were kind of like real young, and the office thing was kind of young. They had like a basketball thing where people could go and play games and all this kind of stuff, and I didn't sense they really had that. It was just entry level, just too entry level, and they wanted someone practically with 0 1 year experience or something. So, I said, you know what, I need to grow. I need to grow. But I didn't make it no big deal. I applied just to see what they were talking about. And and the benefits looked good. I don't know, not medical benefits, but I mean the little perks they were talking about. But um at this stage in my life, it's really more youthful, But I said to myself, I work at TurboTax. I start Friday. We have a mandatory team meeting Saturday. And when I started calculating the figures, I said, if I was to do the same thing like I was doing last tax season, and every month when I looked at my budget, my budget, I was making $4,000+ a month. And that was like, hey, Romeo. And It's Sheila Carter. What's FVOY? I don't know what VOY is. I know FYI is for your information, so I don't know what you're talking about. So anyway, so when I started calculating if I was to work overtime with TurboTax, still working from home, still make my own schedule, I was like, wait a minute. I said I'm making what I make what I make in overtime pay with 20 hours, it will basically be the same pay if I was working at another job and take another secondary job somewhere. I was like, and I knew that. I mean, I was like, when I really broke it down, because I was really contemplating at the time. I said, well, dang, I'm going to pull that off if they was to hire me. And then, you know, I would want to work full time at TurboTax and I won't be able to do overtime because because the schedule is like 8 to 5 for training for 4 weeks. And then you choose, then you get to choose whatever schedule. I said, well, dang, when would I really be able to work TurboTax and get sufficient pay? So it was like, it would be like, even if I had like an earlier schedule, like say 8 to 5, then going home from Dunwoody back home in that heat of the traffic, I wouldn't get home until almost 6:30 or whatever. And then if I was to choose the time frame I work at TurboTax, it would have been like from like 7, because you have to have time to sit and rest, 7 um to what, midnight. So I was like, well, that'd be 4 hours, and then if I had a day off, I'll work 8 hours. Or so I said, well, dang, I wouldn't really work a 40-hour week or 40 hours. So I said, no, that don't make no sense. That didn't make no sense at all. And then I said, okay, let's calculate this way. I schedule myself 40 hours a week, and I do an extra I do overtime. Even if I did 10 hours or 50 hours a week, I would still make more money in that overtime pay than if I had worked the same 40 hours at $18 an hour. So that's why it didn't bother me. But I was contemplating, should I tell y'all or shit? Because I know y'all were looking forward to me like, they'll be foolish not to hire you. But you know what? It would have been foolish for me to keep going on the same route over and over again. So, but that's how that goes. That's what went on with that. And as for Maximus, well, I'll see what they're talking about. Take the call for the Department of Education, but that's Maximus is a contract position, and they didn't say how long it's going to be, how long it's going to last, and whatever. So if it's anything like the CDC, if it's anything like the CDC and that whole debacle, I could probably sit there and wait and see if anybody calls in. But other than that, nope. But we see how that goes. So that's what happens with that. And then Amazon called me there, so I gotta submit the form for the return to work. They expect me to come back to work. What they told me today, they told me, was it? Let me see. Hold on a second. Let me look at something real quick. 8. Mm, Oh, no, it wasn't the 11th. It wasn't this Saturday. They expect me to come back to work on the 18th or Friday or whatever date it was. And once I submit, I thought I submitted the paperwork, but they approved my leave, so I'm approved for leave. So now I got to do submit some paper or form that I got to submit to the doctor for them to complete it, and then my short-term disability insurance would pay me for my pay for 2 weeks. So, but I'm trying to see, when did they tell me? I don't know. But like I said, I'm gonna drag Amazon out. You know, let the doctor write the note, put the date that I could come back. Say, shoot, I should tell them to come back January 2nd, and that way, all these weeks that I've been out of work, it ain't been that long. It's only been a week. I'll still get 60% of my pay. Yep, I will get 60% of my pay without even working. You know, so I have a plan with in terms of Amazon, but still, I'm not going to be able to work being on my feet all day. Not like that. Be careful. Is no. Nope, that ain't it. There's no clause with Amazon. You just a body working remote. That ain't no. That ain't no. Mm-mm. Ain't no clause on that. Because short-term disability, if it's under the Amazon Pay, I'm not applying. That's for people who get like Social Security disability. That's what that's about. People be getting SSI. They say they disabled and stuff. That's what that is. And even then, if you work and get SSI or short-term disability, you could work up to. You can't make over a certain dollar amount. Like you have to not be working, and then they say you can work up. You can't make over a certain dollar amount. That's because of Social Security. But most of these companies, they offer short-term disability and stuff. That doesn't apply to um, somebody working and they work another job. Amazon thinks Amazon act like that's the only goddamn job that people work. I be reading these text messages they send out, and it was like, we're gonna modify the schedule. You're gonna work 11 hours a day and this, and I was like, y'all crazy. Yep. So I ain't worried about that. I don't get neither one. I don't get SSI. I don't get SSDI. I'm not, But that shows important that if you work at a company and when they offer the benefits, when you choose your benefits, if they offer you short-term disability and long-term disability, and you better take it. Now they do offer, you could pay a little bit extra. You could get 2 times your pay or 3 times your pay, but I didn't get 2 3 times my pay. I just simply got the one. I just simply got 60% of my pay, which Amazon pays for the. I think Amazon paid for the short term disability. But if you wanted extra, you could pay extra for a higher amount. So, and trust me, the type of work you do at Amazon and working in a warehouse, shoot, they better offer something like that. Because, at any given moment, you could be injured, damaged, something could happen. A lot of people in there, when I be walking through that thing, a lot of people walking around there limping and stuff. And, and they're like, oh, I gotta work, and I don't even think most people even elect to have, because see, they young, not to say they don't know better, but most of the time they don't know better. They're not going to get insurance. They just going to say, "Oh, we can get insurance," and they just going to work whatever hours, and they don't have no, because some people can't. They can't even afford to pay for that type of. They don't pay for those type of service because they don't want no more money taken out their check. And when they work overtime at Amazon, and they was like, they so shocked about taxes. They like, oh my god, they tax me. I'm like, god dang. Did y'all just started working today? Maybe they did. I don't know. I said if you file your tax return and you overpaid in tax, you just get a refund at the end of when you file your tax. That's all a refund is, y'all. Overpayment of tax, unless they have some kind of refundable credit of some sort. And trust me, they don't have as many refundable credits for tax purposes. and people get earned income credit, you know, that's a refundable credit. But if your child support is not refundable credit. No, back tax payment is not. Don't say nothing more, Romeo, because you see when people make stuff in the comment section, you kind of you give false narratives. So don't interject more about what it is. Earned income tax credit, if you can look it up, is based on for low income taxpayers with children. If you so that's what that is. And trust me, at $15 per hour, even if you get the $15 and you calculate that, most people will not even get earned income credit if you're single with no children. Their earned income credit is extremely low for what they want someone to pay, which I don't. So don't bring more into narrative of, because first of all, back tax payment. What do you mean by that? Do you know what that is? Child support don't have nothing to do with taxes. Child support is what someone would pay. It's a civil matter that people pay that has nothing to do with taxes. There's nothing on the tax form that applies about tax that says anything about child support. So that don't have no bearing to that when it comes to the federal tax, even on a state tax level. Exactly. There's nothing on the tax. There's nothing on the tax form that says about child tax. About child support. That's what that fool a couple weeks ago. After I was talking with someone else, he interject and he talked about I didn't get my. You got to pay. I got the bonus, and it was based on making saying wrong stuff. And then I said, then you tell people, no, that's incorrect. That's not what that is. Blah blah blah. And people to argue. They want to argue you down. And then when they say something so dumb and so idiotic, it's child support. I'm like, what does that got to do with? First of all, you're in my conversation, and then we say, you know what? Then they swear they want to tell you what it is, as if I don't like, as if all of my years of training and all of my years of being certified when it comes to federal taxes, um, going to school and learning and studying and doing over 2,000, 3,000 tax returns, maybe more than that. Probably did over 10,000 plus tax returns in my years in career. Then I say, you know what? Let me walk away. Then they want to follow you and argue you down. I'm like, nigga, you about to get out of my face. I can't stand. Y'all be thinking I don't listen to nobody, and I always want to say that I'm right. But I know one thing: you cannot debate with me when it comes to taxes. I know more. I know more of the Internal Revenue Code than anything. So when people that's why I can't stand it. People make these YouTube videos and they want to be, they don't have no kind of credentials ever in life. No credentials. I have a PTIN number. You can look me up. I got a PTIN number. You know, I have my degrees on the wall. I could show y'all. I'm not somebody who make YouTube videos and make videos and make statements and don't know what I'm talking about. People always want to argue about stupid stuff. And then when you tell them something, well, I don't know. I don't know. And I had another person who did that. They're gonna tell me, well, you could take money out of your 401k to pay your mortgage and this and that. I said, why? What feasible? What, it doesn't make sense for me to do that. One, they're gonna tax the withdrawal amount. Then I gotta pay tax on that amount, and and they argue down when what they say don't make no sense. And I said, no, no. But if you want to do that, that's your business. That's your business. If you do that and I tell you this is what's going to happen, this is what they're going to, and trust me, the stuff that I say to people, you gotta, you have to pay a financial advisor to give you that advice. People talk about credit the wrong way too. Yes, exactly. There's a difference between refundable credits and non-refundable credits, but I'm not going to talk about it on this. I'm not going to go on that. I'm going to do that. I'm gonna do that on my new channel, my not new channel, but my other channel. And then I'll make short videos. I'm not gonna do live stream. I'm not gonna do it on that. I'm just gonna make short videos, and then I'm gonna start creating ebooks, and do that. You know, I'm gonna do ebooks, make it very easy for people to understand, and do it on my other channel. And then if y'all want to pay for it, then that's fine. But I'm done arguing with people about something that they don't know what they talk, especially when they're wrong. So I say, you know what? Let me go ahead. I'm gonna let you carry that narrative. I'm gonna let them carry the narrative because see, I know what's gonna happen. Let them carry that narrative right on through, and then when you got done believing what you need to believe, don't send me no email and asking me questions. People do that all the time, and these are people that I know. T, I got this, and this would happen, and this, and I know in the back of my mind, I said, I know we had this conversation months ago or a year ago, and they act like I'm not going to remember that. I was like, I don't know what to tell you. Just like that Ely grant. Y'all know I came on here, did the Ely process, explained it, broke it down, showed y'all my application process. I mean, I didn't show y'all my personal information, and I went there and did the application for the Ely grant. And then I gave the update, said, "Oh, I got $1,000, da da da." Then I got the remaining amount, and I did it again. And yeah, exactly. Financial advisor, their purpose is to make money. Their purpose is to make money and sell you the product that they're selling. They're there to sell whatever product they want. Especially if you work for a firm. I used to work on Wall Street. My other life when I was in my early 20s and stuff, when I lived in New York, I worked at the Bank of America, um, Shearson Lehman, which is now under, which is named no more. And what other company did? It was another one. They all not even business. They all went under. They all went bankrupt and under. These were big, huge companies. And I used to be there, working as a little intern and so I always had an interest in finance and investments, even when I was in high school. Even when I was in high school, I always had a knack for business. So, I know what I'm talking about. So all the people, you think you know you think you know it all, but yet, I'm in a more better position than some. I'm not a millionaire, but at the same time, I'm not sitting up here and just talk at the side of my mouth about stuff that's wrong. So I say, you know what, keep on, go ahead, go right ahead. Then you get the letter from the IRS that you want to try to find somebody who could help you. No, you go to somebody else because they're going to charge you. And trust and believe, I've seen it all the time. I used to get those calls. People's calling the IRS and stuff, and they got the letters, and they was like they don't understand why, and they just go to any old body who put a sign on the side of the sidewalk or the street. We could get you, see, in a couple of weeks, it's gonna be some signs on the side of the street. We could get the child tax credit for $5,475 per child. Like what the hell they got this up there? And I said, you know what? And most people already got that credit when they gave out that part of that stimulus. They gave it for 4 months per child. So that's gonna be a doozy. I can't wait when those calls and those chats be coming in. People are gonna understand. They're gonna be like, I don't understand. Why I didn't get why oh. See, people don't understand what they be getting. They be signing stuff, just doing stuff, doing the most. They be going to these little raggedy tax place businesses. I told people, if you did the ride share and gig work, and you've been doing it for 2 years, 2.5 years, and you didn't get that ELE grant, that person you hired to do your taxes, they did not guide you correctly. They did not inform you, because that would be the first thing I would have told people. Oh, you did the gig work. Let me tell you about this thing. I would have told them. I wouldn't even charge you nothing extra. Ain't that much confusion. Trust me. People ain't that confused. If you went and got someone to do your return, a person who does the taxes, a reputable person would be up and up on that thing. People ain't confused. You may be confused about what it means, but it's right there. They've been talking about that PPP and the ELE grant. You go to SB. People want to learn or understand what they want to understand. But it sure didn't stop a whole lot of people that I've been watching on YouTube and watching on the news doing the PPP loan scams. They knew what they were doing. How you gonna sit there? And I'm not talking. There are people who got scammed. They said, well, maybe they got confused. You ain't get confused. There was no confusion involved in that. That application thing I showed y'all for that ELE grant, it was very straightforward. The only difference is that you had to have a Schedule C. Make sure you have filed a Schedule C. And I've been talking about this for 5-6 years. Man, please, people can go to there and get damn fake purses and stuff, and get and finance weave and wigs. I refuse to believe that, Brooklyn. I refuse to believe it. You don't have to understand everything 100%. I'm talking about the fact that I didn't say you went and did it yourself. You went and got your taxes done by Buki that don't have a PTIN number, that did your return, and they got $600-700 because you got the child tax credit, and they give you the remaining. You just so happy that you got 5,000, but yet the true figures of different amount is probably more like 7,000. I'm just giving an example. People talk about they confused. They ain't confused. Let me tell you, when it comes to money and when it comes to taxes, the most expert people at the end of this month, they be ready to come with a W-2 or the last pay stub or manufacture some fake documents and trying to file to get some money. People know. I'm not talking tax code and tax code and lawyers. We talk about basic, simple, 1040, easy, W-2. Put it in the box, and the software will calculate it yourself. People know they ain't had no business. A lot of people know they ain't had no business. They didn't do no work. They didn't do nothing of the sort. I'm talking about the child tax credit. People been doing that. That's some damn people's milk. That's some people's gravy train, I guess. Every year they file it. It ain't nothing changed. I wish they'd get rid of it, but I wish they'd get rid of it. People say, oh, it's help the kids. Man, I see those same ass ghettofied people with kids. Their kids don't look no more better when they get that check. They get that check is gone, spent on weave and nails and a whole bunch of and fake bags. And I'm not stereotyping either. Not everybody does it, but shoot. No, you don't overpay taxes. You just simply go to the fill out the tax withholdings calculator and put it in. The only people who get refunds most of the time, let me give you an example of my personal tax return and tell you the difference. My taxes gets reduced because I don't take a standard deduction. I don't get the standard deduction for a single person. I do Schedule A because Schedule A allows me to deduct, which is my biggest deduction, is the mortgage. But as I pay down my mortgage, that's the more I pay. Oh man, I need to pay my mortgage today. Um, Hold on, let me do something real quick because I'm gonna forget, and it's already the 8th. Almost forgot the dang pay it. What the fuck is wrong with this damn website? What the fuck they need to damn? This information always been fucking correct. All right, I'm back. Now I don't do no auto pay. Now when it comes to fucking Wells Fargo, Besides, I make extra payments on my mortgage, so I don't do the auto pay because they like to play games and be act foolish. Something goes wrong and something with the system, and then you gotta argue and fight and curse somebody out. I did that auto pay with my Kia Optima when I had financed it through Fifth Third Bank. I had every month, the same day, I paid my car note plus extra, and then you're gonna come back and say you didn't get it. I said like the devil's a lie. So when it comes to the only thing I did with auto pay, I did auto pay my car, my Nissan with Nissan Finance. No, I'm not talking about. I know I could make extra payments with auto pay. I choose not to with with Wells Fargo because they're a little bit shady when it comes to stuff. Something happens, they like to always say stupid stuff. So I paid on my own so I can monitor it myself. Not that I forget or not that I forgot. I do my auto pay for a lot of my things, but I said nope. I like to see it so I could get my confirmation. Wells Fargo like to play. They like to play that stupid game. Just like Capital One. I had Capital One, and before that it was ING. I did an automate. I automatically apply a certain amount of money every month for the last 12, 13 years. And then the minute something happened or whatever, um, they act like I don't know. And then I cursed them out. And then you're gonna send me a letter about not calling in there, cursing people out, and then you close my account. You just close the account and then sending me my check in the mail. I said, there's some clauses in some of these banks. They could close the account whenever they want. You could bank with them for years and years, and nope. Certain banks, I said, with all that auto pay and all that glitching and all these things going on, no, no. I do Nissan Finance, but other than that, when I mean my electric bill, gas bill, stuff like that, yeah. But mm-mm. Sure did. I'm going looking at my account, and then I'm like, wait a minute, why I'm charged? I said this thing come out automatic pay. See, some stuff happens, and you know what ended up happening after all that arguing and fussing and fighting with Fifth Third Bank. I had got a check a few months ago, and it was some mistake they made, and they sent me a check in the mail. It was like for 50 something dollars. And you know what? Luckily, I had opened up my mail. And I was looking through my mail, throwing stuff in the garbage. I said, "What's this thing for 50?" And I opened it. It was a check. And they talk about, "Oh, we found a mistake, and it was an issue." I said, "Shoot, only deal I had with y'all was the car note. You know how long ago I paid that damn Kia off? That Kia been paid off, and the car is already in the junk pile somewhere, whatever, or somebody's third party lot. So here it is. I'm getting a check from something that happened, what, 3 years ago? No, no, never, nope. And I knew it was a mistake. I knew it was an issue, but I had to fight, 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 fight. Call the Federal Trade Commission, file a complaint, and they sent and they was talking about, oh, we looked over your account, and they gonna send me a whole big old statement about, I said no. Sent me the whole annualization statement and payments and extra payments that I was making. I said, no, this is not calculated. I said, y'all don't know how to calculate. I combed through my statements, combed through it, and I said, no, y'all made a mistake. I did look over the statements. I'm talking about the annualization statement they send you. Not no regular statement. That's the point. When they give you a statement, say yeah, it shows the payment, but that doesn't mean they put that information correct. You can make a payment and you get your statement and say, okay, here's your receipt, here's payment. But if they're not applying it to the account correctly and reconcile it, it's not going to be correct. Oh, what are you talking about? What did Brooke? Who say what? Well, I wouldn't shoot. I don't have cable. DirecTV, they became part of AT&T, and then you make a payment with AT&T and DirecTV don't get the payment history. They don't link their systems together. They say, "What is the old system?" And then you always talking to some dumb idiot on the phone that don't know nothing. And I was like, I was born in the evening last night, but I wasn't born last night. And you try to explain this to people. See, that's what you do when you get these little entry level customer service representatives. They don't know the whole process. And you try to explain it to them. I said, let me speak to the supervisor. Well, they want to know what it's about. No, because you're not going to understand what I'm saying. And I'm not going to repeat myself. Then you got to go ahead and get the corporate, the executive relations department involved. And then they act like, we'll look into it. Then you got to go ahead and file a Federal Trade Commission complaint, Consumer Affairs, for them to deep, for them to come back to you 2 years later, 3 years later. Oh, we made a mistake. Here's your check. Here's the mistake we've made. There's no. You gotta be diligent with these dang companies, especially in these age. Look what happened with you see what happened with Amazon Web Services. The AWS yesterday, they shut down. People can't get into their bank account. Man, you better go. You gotta be due diligent with stuff. All it takes is someone to lose your information. Or make a little error. One thing I learned when I've been learning the code, I'm not saying I'm an expert at it, but one thing I learned the code with these software developers, people have access to information. They could just write one little line of code and that could mess up the whole damn computer system with these companies. Most of the people they hire, they from India and some other foreign countries. And then they got people, they don't even manage. They don't even have cyber security. That's why there's a demand for those type of fields. But there's a lot of people in the United States, American born or whatever, they're not into learning, so they got to get people from other countries to do it, and you can't understand what the hell they saying. Abib and Abdul, they like, and what you do? I'm like, what? What are you saying? And next, too many things going on. Too many things. So certain things, I'll leave it alone. And then I don't know what's going to happen in the next coming years. I found out when I was looking at YouTube, when you go to a bank and you wanted to take out, say I wanted to take out my $20,000 and I go to the bank. They're not going to give you all that money, even if it's your money. You got to put in a request. You got to wait a couple days. And they can't get, I don't know what the limit for Bank of America is, but I can't walk into no bank talking about I need $10,000. They're not going to give you all that money at once. There's a whole lot of stuff going on with these financial transactions. And then as I was looking at more advanced YouTube videos and things like that, they were saying how like the future of cash, like actual cash and dollars, that's going to change. But thank you, Mike Grove. All right, y'all, go ahead and comment and subscribe. I appreciate it. But you know, y'all like to say I be fussing and arguing and disagreeing with people and don't listen to other people's opinion. But don't spread stuff that ain't true. Don't spread stuff that because people get confused and they be doing stuff, and I was like, mm. I was like, no, why are you doing that? And then I have my reasons, but I said, you know what? So for next year, 2022, I'm just gonna let people do, whatever. Think whatever you want to think. When it comes to taxes, I was like, nope. But don't come to me crying and come to me later on down the road. Want to know why? Don't come to me. I told y'all. I told people. Y'all know. Y'all remember I told people I was telling y'all I gave you the updates about the Ely grant and stuff. And I said, go ahead and apply for the Ely grant. Go ahead and apply for the E grant. I mean, all you do is apply. What they gonna say is no. But I knew a lot of people. I said, it was like a one thing, one application. It wasn't even an application. You just put in your name, social security number, bank account information. You answer some questions. They actually, and then you authorize them on a 4506T to get the transcript, and then and then you file a Schedule C, and that's it. And that is it. And then I asked people some questions. I said, well, how much did you make with Instacart or whatever? And it's like, well, I don't know. I said, how people don't know how much money they made? I don't get it. I said, go and open your the app, and then it'll tell you how much you've made, or estimate. Because let me tell you, the IRS, when it comes to and it's not audit. If your return need to be audited, it's going to be audited when they get it in process. They have. I can't tell you. Well, I guess I could tell y'all. No, I'm not going to tell y'all. I'm not going to tell y'all on this channel. Y'all just have to come over to my other channel when I start making a video. I think I'm going to make my first video tomorrow on TPS tax and consulting services. It's going to be on that video. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to link it. Brooklyn boy, you know how to do that? If you look up on YouTube and see my other, put TPS tax and consulting service, if you could put that in the link in the chat rather, because I can't, I'm not no expert with no YouTube. I mean, I do videos, but I don't do all that editing and all that stuff. It might be nice to do it, but I got too many things going on. I'm still trying to finish learning how to code, do little projects. So I just got too much. I got too much things going on. That's what the problem is. But anyway, that's what happened with Carvana. I'm not upset. I'm not like, oh my God, I didn't get it. I just went there. I applied just to apply. Went to the interview because I got the interview and said, I know I interviewed well. I know I did. But I guess they must be looking for a certain type of. Oh, let me see. I will put it in here. Let me see what it is. TPS tax. I think this was the name of the channel. Yeah, put that in the YouTube. I think that's what it was. Something similar to that. You'll see my picture, my other picture, just like you see my little picture. It may not be this hairstyle. It might be another different one with the glasses. Well, look it up and tell me. I don't know. I always try to figure out how do you put the other channel information if you got another channel. People make an announcement, but yeah, so I don't know what they be looking for. I mean, these companies be, they want to pay $12 an hour. I was like, what? $12? I saw. Remember, I told you I used to do the infomercial calls. Um, what was that dang company name? Next Rep. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all could click on that channel, that link that Brooklyn Boy put in the chat, and subscribe to the other channel. So I don't have any videos up. I may have one, but that was that was a few years ago. So I'm going to be doing. I'm not going to do live streaming on that. I'm going to do short videos, very specific topics of certain things that I think I would like to inform people about. So, and then the reason why I want to do it like that is because I could make YouTube videos on that channel and it could be downloaded into an ebook. So I'm trying to do these various different topics and make an ebook. So I'm still trying to learn how to do the ebooks, and I'm gonna put like little I ain't gonna write no book, but I'm gonna do little pamphlets and e-digital guides, for a small little fee. And the only reason why I'm gonna charge a fee is because I need to purchase the licenses for the TurboTax if I want to do people taxes. So if I want to do y'all taxes, for instance, or y'all could get the TurboTax, or anybody for that matter. And if somebody was doing it themselves, because I think a lot of people are going to be trying to do their taxes by themselves, I'm going to offer a service where we could do it in the Zoom or a private Google chat. And if somebody's doing their taxes and they get stuck and they don't understand how to finish it or complete it, I'll just go on there and charge like a nominal fee, and I could guide someone how to do it, and they could do their taxes. So like if somebody has a question about, well, I got a tax question about this particular issue, whatever, like it's basically what I'm do with TurboTax, but I'm an employee, but I'm just going to do it on my own. The only thing is I cannot take customers from the TurboTax and go and do it on myself. So if you call TurboTax and you say, I got this, you have a question about the software, download tax forms, doing the tax return and all that stuff, you call TurboTax. So you can't specifically say, well, can you get Teresa? I want her to help me, because it could be anybody that could help you. But this is going to be separate that I would help people do. Because you could go to TurboTax if you got the service. Well, they charge you at the end, but you can't just call them up and ask a bunch of questions. They don't allow you to answer 2 basic questions and that's it. If you want someone to do the return, you will have to download all the paperwork and all the tax forms and everything. And then somebody works on it and then they'll get back with you. But then you're going to have to pay. And it's not cheap, but it's not cheap, but it's not, put it this way, it's not a conflict of interest by me doing this with TurboTax, working for TurboTax and then doing my own business. They'll let you do that. There's a lot of people who work at TurboTax. They are CPAs and enrolled agents and things. But they also have their own business on the side too. So but I always try to tell people, please do not go and look at these people's signs on the side of the road that markets about child tax credit, $5,000 something. Don't do it. I see those signs all the time. I was like, first of all, it's junky, and they always want to target certain groups of people because they never go to the affluent areas like Alpharetta and Johns Creek and white people neighborhoods putting up signs on the side of the road. You never see it. You would never see that. But they'll put up in a black neighborhood, maybe Hispanic and Mexican. They have those signs all over the place. But you don't put that on. You ain't gonna put that on the white folks side of town and put that thing in people's yard and put it on the side of the street. You'll never see it. It's very rare. And I was like, they need to quit. And some people do it, it's a cash cow. It's a cash cow, I could tell you. Because to be honest, to do a return, even if you have a Schedule C, it shouldn't cost you no $400, $500, $600. I'm sorry. It ain't cost no $500, $600. It shouldn't. It will not. It should not. When people who got, if you don't have time and you don't have a computer or you don't, I can understand maybe going somewhere to get it done. But if you're going somewhere and they say $500, $600, and it's going to be much more than I'm quoting, because I know last year when I worked at TurboTax, people were going to H&R Block at the Walmart, and those are just regular old people who get paid $12 an hour. It is input data. That's it. They don't, it's not it ain't no whole thing they doing, And I got so many people calling. I had H&R Block do my return last year, but when I went to the Walmart, they told them it was like 500 something. I said, what? 500? And Dorian. Hey, Dorian.
What's up?
Nothing. Hold on. Let me get a mute because I'm still on the live chat. All right, y'all. Well, that's all I got to say for today. Go over to my other channel. I appreciate it. And then I'm going to start doing some videos of certain different topics. It ain't going to be long like this one. This one an hour and 4 minutes. So let me go ahead and talk to my friend on the phone. So, all right, y'all. Talk to y'all later. Good night.